And we welcome you back to the Steve Malzberg Show. I'm John Bachman. I should mention this is a special, maybe obviously because I'm here, a special edition of the Steve Malzberg Show. Steve is joining us as well, although not from the friendly confines of the Newsmax New York studios. Steve has been dealing with the weather like a lot of folks in the Northeast. He's kind enough to join us from home on a quasi-snow day. Here's the number. We got plenty of time left in the show, about half an hour, plenty of time to get to your calls. We've been doing this the last couple of days with a lot of success. We've had a great chance to get to hear from so many of you. The number here again, 561-369-0081. Again, if you want to call in and be heard, 561-369-0081. We here at Newsmax TV are listening to you. Joining us now to continue our conversation, Steve Malzberg and Mr. Larry Elder. Guys, let's get to some calls, and Steve will let you take it from here.
All right, well, let's go to our first call. I believe it's David M. from Louisiana. Hello, David. You're on with Larry and John and me, Steve.
Yeah, hi. First of all, I want to congratulate and thank Newsmax for playing programs that no one else would touch. For instance, James Files, I Killed JFK. I would really like to see a lot more programs played like that. I get tired of all the dickering back and forth between Republicans and Democrats when, in fact, you're never going to straighten out this situation today until you go back and resolve the Kennedy assassination, because everyone today knows that there's a shadow government and they can be killed too. There's just no way around that.
Interesting.
All right, well, we'll take your compliment then. Duly noted, sir. What else can we do for you?
Well, that's mainly the state. You know what I'd like to see? Maybe open up on the internet some kind of way to introduce new videos, documentaries that would pertain to the Kennedy assassination, because there's a ton of them out there that are really good.
Yeah, this is one of those subjects, Steve, that just seems to captivate the American public. We just recently, last year, saw the 50th anniversary of the Kennedy assassination,
right.
A whole new round of books coming out, and a real appetite. And as we mentioned, we're trying to fill that appetite here on Newsmax TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right.
I think more
let's.
books have been written about the Kennedy assassination than have been written about Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. It is something that fascinates people. It's been investigated over and over and over again, and I am convinced that Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone assassin. I think the evidence all suggests that, but I know that's not going to make my caller feel any better. But that's how I see it.
Let's go to Larry, who's in Virginia, I believe. Hello, Larry. You're next with Steve Malzberg, John Bachman, and Larry Elder on Newsmax Television. Hello.
Hi, John. Hi, Steve. Hi, Larry.
Hey, Larry.
How are you all doing tonight?
Good.
I just have, I completely agree with a couple of people that you had on earlier. I think Joe and there was a guy, Steve. But I want to go back to 2 nights ago when you had Donald Trump on. If we talk about Obama and him giving away money to these Arab countries, I call them Arab countries. Remember when Obama was running for president, Donald Trump was the first one to step up 2 months after he was running for president and say, he's not a United States citizen. And miraculously, somehow, he got a supposedly birth certificate from Hawaii. And why, did we give, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, he gave money to India, $4 million. But we can't put that money to, that's why Steve is at home today, we can't put that $4 billion to a decent use in our country, for example, weather or the homeless.
Well, I think you're walking down a slippery slope when you talk about foreign aid and as opposed to, it's taking food out of the mouths of people here. I don't think it's either or. A very small percentage of our budget is for foreign aid. I'm not saying I approve of the aid to India. I know he promised billions of dollars there. I don't say that I agree with that necessarily at all. But it's not an either or situation. The Treasury is taking in more money now than ever before. We just have so much waste. And I don't know who's going to come along one day, Larry, and really get rid of the waste.
Well, Steve, waste, fraud, and abuse, of course, probably counts for maybe 10 to 15% of what we spend. The real problem is our welfare state. The real problem is half of our government spending goes for the 3 major entitlements program, and that's Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. And the politician that wants to reform that is a politician that gets defeated.
It's true. That's such
Yeah.
a big chunk of our budget, and that's why we haven't had a real budget for so long in Congress. These guys can't seem to agree. Larry Elder, thanks so much for being with us. And I'm John Bachman,
Thanks,
Steve
Larry.
Malzberg. We'll be back here after this commercial break. More callers. We want to talk about Bo Bergdahl. We want to talk about Chris Kyle. Let's talk right after this.